He had grease on his hands and grief in his heart. A single father who'd lost everything except the one thing he couldn't afford to lose, his daughter. And when her fever spiked past 104 and his truck wouldn't start, he thought that day would break him. But fate had already decided his life would change a week later because of a stranger on the side of the road. A stranger with a broken car and a secret that could rewrite his entire world. Luke hadn't smiled in months. Not really. Since Emily passed, the laughter in their small house died with her. Now it was just him and Lily. And every cough she let out felt like a countdown clock he couldn't pause. His garage barely brought in anything these days. Small town, too many bills, and no one paid on time. But he fixed what he could. For her. Always for her. That Monday morning, he hadn't eaten. He was running late to pick up a used inhaler someone promised to sell cheap when he saw her, on the side of Route 9, hood up, panic on her face. Most men would have kept driving, but Luke never had it in him to ignore broken things. Even if he had nothing to give, her name was Ava. "I think I overheated something," she said, blinking back tears. "I'm late to something really important." He didn't ask what. He just popped the hood, rolled up his sleeves, and got to work. He replaced a hose with one from his own old truck, got her car running. She stared at him in disbelief. She offered money. He shook his head. "I got a little girl. She's sick. That money might be better used by someone who doesn't need to choose between medicine and fuel." She stared at him like he'd just spoken a foreign language. And then, she did something strange. She hugged him. It was brief, but real. "I hope the world repays you," she whispered. He laughed bitterly. "The world's late on a lot of debts." The week that followed was the darkest of his life. Lily's fever wouldn't break. He pawned off his wedding ring for antibiotics that didn't work. He cried where she couldn't see him. He prayed into silence. And then, on Friday morning, the knock came. A black SUV outside the garage. Men in suits. A woman stepped out. It was Ava, but she looked different. Powerful. Confident. He thought he was dreaming. Ava stepped out like someone out of a movie. Behind her, another vehicle pulled in, then another, then a truck. She didn't wait for words. She walked straight to him, knelt by Lily, and touched her forehead. "I brought a doctor," she said, "and something else." He couldn't breathe. She wasn't just a woman with car trouble. She was one of the most powerful businesswomen in the state. A billionaire with a network, a purpose, and a memory she didn't forget. "I grew up in a house not much better than this," she told him. "My dad left. My mom fixed cars to keep us fed. When you helped me, Luke, I saw my past. And I saw someone the world needed to see." Ava bought his garage, renovated it, hired staff, got him licensed as a specialty technician. But that wasn't the miracle. The miracle was a simple sheet of paper with one question. "Will you let me help you adopt Lily's treatment permanently under my foundation?" His hands shook as he signed it. As the sky turned gold, Luke looked at Ava and asked, "Why me?" She smiled. "Because a long time ago, a mechanic helped my mother when no one else did. He gave us hope. That mechanic was your father, Luke. And I've been waiting my whole life to repay him." Luke lifted Lily in his arms as she laughed. A sign on the garage read, "Hope Restored Auto." Sometimes the life you save isn't a stranger's. Sometimes it's your own legacy coming full circle. Never underestimate a small act of kindness. It might be the very thing that changes everything.